Warm welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Do not forget to subscribe. In this video we're going to be attempting to review a new chemical. This is Smart Chem Super Snow Foam Ultimate High Foaming Super Snow Foam Super Concentrate. Dilute up to 1 to 400 or 400 to 1. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. Apply using a foam gun, so that's like a, one of those. In theory, although in America the foam gun refers to the one that you go straight on a hose with. The foam cannon is the one that goes onto a pressure washer or pressure washer. They could word that a little bit better. We'll come back to that later on. Allow to dwell for up to 10 minutes, fine. Apply a second coat of foam and then agitate. It's interesting they don't get you to rinse off after applying the first coat. I think that's just, they've just missed that. So I think you could apply a second coat and then do your contact wash when they say agitate. So you can pre-wash with it, rinse off, apply again, wash your car, rinse using clean water. They probably want to add there that you should dry the car afterwards, because you just rinse it and leave the rinse water on. You'll get you risk water spots and all that sort of stuff. Do not allow to dry on the vehicle. Good. I always like to see that. Some health and safety instructions and a little hazard warning label and their company details there. Okay, let's get stuck into this, guys. Now, first of all, this product cost £10 for 500 ml. Up to 1 to 400, you wouldn't mix it at 1 to 400 in your Lance thing, because that will give you, once it's diluted by the pressure washer, the PIR, the impact ratio, will be too low. So that 1 to 400 is the actual concentration which you would use it on the panel, I believe, which is around 0.25% PIR. That would equate to roughly 30 mil to 970 mil in the Lance. Well, that's 2.5 roughly. It's a little bit less. It's roughly, which would give you a cost per wash if you mixed up a litre in the Lance of 6p. You double that to get 5%, 0.5%. It's 12p a wash. At 120 to 880, about 1%. It will cost you 24p a wash. And if you use it 250 to 750, it'd be 48p a wash, around 2%. Note, you typically only use about 500 ml of total solution in the Lance. So your real effective costs to use this would be as little as 3p, through to 6p, through to 12p, through to 24p. The bottom line is that usage price, its cheapest thing, is so cheap that you could actually wash your car, pre-wash it for 3p. At that point, the cost becomes negligible. So there is a massive amount of value when you buy 5 litres of concentrated snow foam at around £10. That's a huge feather in the cap of this particular product. To give you some just rough price comparisons of other pre-wash snow foams, Auto Finesse Avalanche, £47.95 for 5,000 ml. Built Hammer Touchless, £30 for 5,000 ml. Valet Pro Advanced Neutral, £26 500 ml. Auto Glim Polar Blast, that's probably one of the widely sold popular products from Auto Glim, £19.95 for 2,500, which is around £40, just under, for 5,000. So none of these companies can get close to this price. If you wanted to, you'd have to really go direct to like a chemical manufacturer like A-Chem, Car-Chem and Bonnyman's, which will all get close to that price. They'll have offerings close to that price of £10, but pretty much as cheap as it goes, guys. Huge feather in the cap. Right, I want to just talk about, on the review side of things, the instructions. So they could put better instructions. They could include a product preamble of what Super Snow Foam is and what it's designed to do. That sort of, this is a pre-wash thing for your car to soften loose dirt that can be removed prior to the contact wash, and then after you can use it as a contact wash. So you could give a little layman's description of what your product is, and that will help your users get better results with it. They could do better mix ratios. They say it's just up to 1 to 400. It'd be good to perhaps give a layman's, use this at 1 to 9 in your snow foam Lance, as an example. yeah, just give better instructions on dilution. When they say up to 1 to 400, they're basically saying you can use hardly any 30 mil, or you can go up a lot higher. Maybe give the other end ratio example as well. So there's some criticism. Yeah, don't forget to tell people to dry their car, because if it's being bought by people that are following your instructions in layman's, then you're leaving the final, after you've rinsed it, you're leaving the final rinse water on there, as we've explained. What was the user experience of the product when I actually sprayed it out? So at 1 to 400, or around 2.5% PIR, about 30 mil in the lance, I felt the product was too thin and patchy. I've said many times, nothing will really foam in the UK when you use 30 mil to 970 in your lance. This was getting close to the point of threatening to foam, but it was just a little bit too thin. You could probably just about get away with it like that, but I think most people won't like the user experience, and I'll just show you how it comes out, and you can see if your eyes are telling you match what I'm seeing or what I'm saying. When it was sprayed out of that ratio, there was an immediate fizzing noise, and this is a key feature of the product we'll talk about in a second. So then I went on to use it higher than this, as the instructions let you do. 1 to 9 is a cookie cutter ratio for these products, and at 1 to 9, or 990 to 900, you get a good amount of foam, a decent foaming level. Not the thickest I've ever seen at 1 to 9, but very acceptable, good, noticeable fizzing noises as well when it goes on at 1 to 9. For the secondary wash, where I was putting it on as a contact, I put it on as 1 to 5 just to see what the upper limits were, and then you start getting this thickness, a more soapy feel, a slick sort of thing. So it's quite suitable for the contact wash at this very high ratio, but of course that's going to cost you a little bit more money. Every time I used it, the bubbles that are produced by this, it's the most bubble forming soap I've ever seen. So many bubbles are forming so quickly, you can hear them fizzing, and that was unusual. Never seen anything that produces so many bubbles in the formulation. There is no scent to the particular product. What was my summary of this? Well, the car that I was using it on doesn't have heavy winter road film, so we're moving into spring, but it had a good low level dirt on it. The car's well protected as well, which means that these products can clean better. It worked really well on the low level dirt film as a pre-wash, but most probably would, but it did, so we put it there. The wheels needed a bit more. The lack of cut of the product was noticeable more on the wheels when I was jet washing them. Still an improvement, but just I noticed it left more behind there. The cling of the product was actually quite good. It looked like it threatened, some of it ran off the car, but then it left this white film over the car, you know, the wet white film, and it seemed quite static, so it was decent on that. The rinse was excellent, no white filming after the rinse, so sometimes you can get that white cationic cling and you see a white film. None of that. Rinse back to a clean panel. No surfactant runs later on, so I wasn't getting like soap stains in the runoff, so it rinsed well. Perhaps too much bubble formation was the negative that I've got there. Yeah. Oh, there's just something on the feel of the chemical. Most other snow foams that I use can feel a bit more jelly and a bit sort of slimier. This had a slickness to it, but it felt a bit kind of more bubbly. Hard to describe, but lacked that gel quality that you sometimes get from a snow foam. Maybe you'll understand. Maybe that will make sense. Next thing, dirt simulator testing. So whenever you're testing this on a car, we only just tested this once on a car. Every time you use it on a car, the dirt is different, the car's different, the level of protection's different, you get variable results. So really, every snow foam that you ever test, you should probably use for at least 3 to 6 months on different cars to form a really good opinion in the real world, but no one can do that. The dirt simulator allows me to create a consistent film over a test panel, a white test panel, and then repeat that test on demand wherever I need it. And it gives me a way to measure how well these products can emulsify an organic film of dirt. And it is essentially a simulated organic film of dirt. So here's the thing. I tested it at 2% PIR ratio, and it had very little impact with a 5-minute dwell on that panel, and I didn't expect it to. Didn't expect it to do that. I then tried it. I thought maybe this has got no cut at all, so then I just put some on neat, and it really cleaned well neat, but again, most of them would. So then I'm trying to find the tipping point of where this can start to clean. I went back down to 5% PIR, so that would be 5 mil to 95 mil. Didn't have a noticeable impact. When I punched it up to 10% and left it for 5 minutes, I'm starting to see it able to affect the dirt simulator, and it's starting to disturb it with the contact. It starts to emulsify and soften up at 10%. The reason that's useful for me is like a powerful pre-wash like Built Hamber Touchless can do that emulsification at 2% or even 1%. So it allows me to say that this product is a mild cleaning thing. It doesn't have massive cut. It's not going to be the ideal choice for heavy road films, but you know, that's what I've learned from the dirt simulator. But the essence, the reality is, right now in spring, I've used that product and I have a very clean car, and it's the only chemical that I use to clean the entire car, including the wheels. So I went back over it, refoamed it, cleaned all the wheels with a brush, and I've got a very clean car. So I'm ready to go in to my summary here, guys, of this particular product. The positives: you're not going to beat the price or the value of this particular product. And that gives me a reason to go and buy a product. Very important. And here's the killer question. If a product like this is developed to be a mild, concentrated, foaming shampoo, what is the reason for paying 50 quid, 60 quid, 70 quid, 80 quid for 5 litres if they all have a similar low level cleaning power? You know, they're at that low ratio, they can't heavily emulsify, but they can soften a little bit. And then when you put them back on again, it's the contact and the kind of lubrication, it's your mitt going over that's cleaning. So if that, say we've got another brand here and it's a 60 quid snow foam for 5 litres, and it's a more premium brand that you kind of, you know, you might use. But if the cleaning power is similar, what are you actually paying for? And all I can think is, maybe that gel-like quality that's missing from this, maybe that translates to lubricity. Maybe that product won't fizz and generate quite so much bubbles as this, because they've sort of formulated that out of it, so there could be a bit more precision in the formulation. It could be too much foaming agent compared to the other surfactants, I don't know. But the answer is, in terms of results, nothing, because this has done a really good job. And what you won't get from the alternative product that costs 60 quid is good value for money. So that's the dilemma. That's the key dilemma with all these mild cleaning products. End results for a light cleaning product were good. Wheels ended up clean after I did the contact, you know, but it didn't. The pre-wash part didn't do. But the end results of this product were good. I got no little white marks or anything. The car's just looking like I wanted to for a quick wash. It seems to be LSP safe. I've got different LSP. I've got waxes. I've got like can coat on different bits. The bits that were really heavily beady and fresh, it didn't knock down at all. So it's definitely LSP safe as far as I can see. Doesn't mask and doesn't seem to create a cationic film of surfactants. So it seems free rinsing. There's all the positives. The negatives: the foam product experience, the foam produced was bad at 1 to 400. So someone in simple layman's might say, oh, I'm going to use that at 1 to 400 because it's the only ratio that's mentioned, and then think, well, this isn't very good because the foam isn't very good. So you've got to go beyond that, dilute it up a bit more and play around with it as the instructions give you freedom to do so. But we still might put that as a negative. Yeah, at 1 to 900, or between 1 and 2% PIR, 100 to 900 and beyond, the product experience starts becoming good. What about this company as a whole? Because this is the first time I've ordered for them. from them. If you order more than 40 quid, you get free delivery, which I did. I got patio cleaner, I've got acid wheel cleaner, I've got a interior cleaner, which I've been enjoying actually. That's quite a good little interior cleaner with antimicrobial mold killing properties on it. Very cheap as well. They're all £10. So patio cleaner, mold cleaner, acid wheel cleaner, and this is what I bought. All of these products turned up in 4 to 5 days. When I talked about the mold cleaner, someone in the comments said they ordered and didn't receive their order and emailed the company and didn't get their order. That was a gentleman called Rob Robinson. I don't know. So I'm the same as you. I'm looking to see, because people are going to be now ordering this. So if you have any problems with orderings, put it in the comments, but I haven't. I would advise, if you've contacted them via email and they haven't replied, give them a call, because they'll obviously want to send you the order. Yeah, so that really is it with Super Snow Foam. Let me just pan the camera around to me. It is what it is. It does a good job for sort of spring, summer, early autumn, where you don't have heavy road film, and you can clean your car with it and get fantastic results. And the results are going to be more down to you dosing it out to where you feel it's giving you a nice foaming level. You're then going to be a little bit more reliant on then refoaming and the quality of how well you contact wash, because you're not going to be getting all that deep cleaning. Is this going to replace Built Hamber Touchless as my pre-wash of choice? No, because I want that cleaning capability there, so that in winter, when I've got loads of road film, I've got a product that I use that softens it more than this can. And then I can dial down the concentration of touchless in the summer to 0.5% PIR, or even less if I'll go off piste, even less if it's just dust and pollen and stuff like that. So I do it the other way around. But even the Built Hamber can't compete with this on the potential price, but it can sort of get to the point where it's close enough where I feel there's enough merit there to still carry on buying it. Yeah, and then that extra cleaning power that's available at 2% PIR is the thing that I am looking for in a product. So it won't replace it, but Jesus, products like this are just no nonsense, no frills. Yes, the labels could be a bit better. Yes, it could have a lovely, nice scent in it as well to increase the user experience. Yes, they could tweak the formulation and lower the foaming, the thing that's making all those bubbles, maybe lower that down a bit and put something in there that's a different type of surfactant or whatever, I don't know. But essentially, this Smart Chem Super Snow Foam has delivered me a clean car for pennies, and that always earns my respect as a reviewer. And I've given you all of the strengths, I've given you all of the weaknesses. Interesting to see what people make of it, because I think people will try it on the back of this review because of that price benefit. In the UK at the moment, let's go back round to the face-to-face thing. In the UK at the moment, you've heard me say it, we're getting squeezed on everything, like financially. We're getting hit hard. You know, fuel's going up, taxes going up, bills are going up. You know, a cup of coffee costs you £4 now. This country is very expensive to live in. And I think it's got to the point where people are looking where they can get some of that money back that we're having to, you can't get around paying all this money. So you're looking to get it back in other places. So companies like this that are offering you mega value have got a real place for me. It's the same. I'm going to use their patio cleaner, and I bet you it does a phenomenal job. And it's a concentrate, and I've got 5 litres of it for 10 quid. It's the same, I've talked about it before, if you really follow this channel closely, like weed killer. You go into your local hardware store and buy 5 litres of weed killer, and it costs like 45 quid for a branded weed killer that's already mixed down to this ready-to-use ratio. Like, it is literally 40 to 45 quid, some of them. You go and buy a concentrated weed killer that contains the same active ingredient, and you water it down yourself, and you can pay 15 quid for a litre, but it's a concentrate and you only use 50 ml to 5 litres. So you're actually, when you mix out 5 litres, it costs you like whatever, £1 or something, you know. So 45 quid versus £1. So if you understand all these industries and where you can go to get all of the chemicals, you can end up winning. You are winning when you pay £10 for Super Snow Foam. You're definitely winning. But there are things that I've picked up on that some people might be very sensitive to. They might want something a little bit more jelly, a creamier kind of thing. Hard to describe. You'd have to be very fussy though. You'd have to be very fussy. Essentially, your end results should be good with this. It's going to be more down to you doing a thorough job than this doing a miracle job for you. It will do a good enough job that you can get top results with it and a clean car. But yeah, the concern from what I'm seeing is it won't smash and heavily emulsify at low ratios like market leading powerful alkaline kind of surfactants. Non-caustic surfactants still have the capability to do. That isn't what this product is. It's a concentrated, milder snow foam with incredible value. Let me know in the comments what you think, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel. Bye for now.